Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Hope and pray you are fit as a fiddle by the grace of Almighty Allah. As you are well acquainted about the fact that we have already started our poetry section, and in the poetry section we talked about poem number first, that's prayer. Today we shall talk about one more poem, that's miracles, composed by Walt Whitman. So, students, before talking about the poem or the title of the poem, I think we should try to discuss the writer first. So let me tell you something about Walt Whitman. Walter Whitman is America's world poet, born on 31st of May 1819 in Huntington, New York, America, and died on 26th of March 1892. If we consider this age, if we consider his date of birth and date of his death, it falls within 19th century. So Walt Whitman is regarded as one of the most significant and most influential 19th century American poet. But the big but is he is not only a great poet but also a well-known essayist, journalist and humanist. He has contributed towards journalism. Plus, he is a best humanist as well. So, what is this? What's humanist? Humanist is a person who glorifies human values. और ह्यूमनिस्ट्स का ज़्यादा फोकस रहता था इंडिविजुअल पे. Their main focus was on individual liberty. So far as his contribution is concerned, Walt Whitman's contribution towards American literature is immense. American poetry is incomplete, my dear students, without Walt Whitman, and you should bear it in your mind. And somebody has rightly remarked, it has been said by someone that you can't really understand America without Walt Whitman. He wrote his first novel in 1842 called Franklin Evans. In March 1950, he published his first pre-verse poem called Blood Money. His poetry often focused on both loss and healing. He mainly wrote about democracy, nature, love, and friendship. He is also known as Bard of Democracy. You might have heard the name of Abraham Lincoln, my dear students. Walt Whitman highly praised Abraham Lincoln. And on the death of Abraham Lincoln, whom I already told you that Walt Whitman highly praised, he wrote his well known poems like Oh Captain, My Captain. This one poem. Another poem is When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed. And he also gave a series of lectures on his death. His major work, Leaves of Grass, was first published in 1855 and is considered as a landmark in the history of American literature. Leaves of Grass is a collection of poetry, and he published this Leaves of Grass with his own money. It's considered as a controversial work in literature. And one more point, as you know that he was the most influential poet of the American canon, and he's regarded as the father of free verse. Walt Whitman is regarded as the father of free verse. The most of the poetry is written in either formal verse or blank verse or free verse. Most of the poems. What's blank verse and what's the difference between blank verse and free verse? Let me tell you. Before coming to the poem, let me explain this thing to you, because this poem is written in free verse. First of all, let's try to understand what's formal verse. फॉर्मल वर्स आप उस वर्स को कह सकते हैं, उस पोइट्री को, उस पोएम को कह सकते हैं जिसमें दोनों मीटर और राइम भी होता है. इट फॉलोज मीट, इट फॉलोज रिदम एज वेल एज राइम. लाइक आपने वो एक राइम पढ़ी होगी, ट्विंकल ट्विंकल लिटिल स्टार हाउ आई वंडर व्हाट यू आर. स्टार आर ये राइमिंग वर्ड्स है, प्लस इसमें मीटर है यानी पूरी रिदम है. सो व्हाट्स ब्लैंक वर्स? ब्लैंक वर्स एक ऐसी पोएम होती है जिसमें खाली मीटर होता है, खाली रिदम होता है, लेकिन इसमें राइम नहीं होती है. ज्यादातर ब्लैक वर्सेस 16 to 20 सेंचुरी में लिखी जाती थी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं एक लाइन लूंगा यहाँ पे जो W.B. येट्स की पोएम से, द सेकंड कमिंग से, turning and turning into the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. आप देखिए इन दो लाइंस में ये प्रॉपर मीटर में, इनमें रिदम है, लेकिन लास्ट पे राइमिंग वर्ड्स नहीं है. ऊपर में लास्ट वर्ड राइमिंग है जायर, नीचे में फैल्कनर है. ठीक है. और फ्री वर्स ऐसी पोएम होती है जिसमें ना तो कोई राइम होती है ना तो रिदम होती है. फ्री वर्स में ना तो रिदम होती है ना तो राइम होती है. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द writer. Ultimately he died on 1892, and his funeral became a public spectacle. So this is all about writer. Now we'll talk about the title of the poem, that's Miracles. If we go by the literal definition of the literal meaning of the word miracles, miracles means wonders, right? यानी करिश्मे. So miracle is actually derived from Latin word miraculum, which means something wonderful or object of wonder. So it's actually a surprising and welcome event that's not explicable by natural or scientific laws, and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. It's an event that does not follow the laws of nature and is considered and is believed to be caused by God. यानी स्टूडेंट्स, मिरेकल्स ऐसी चीजों को बोला जाता है जो कभी कभार होती है. यानी मिरेकल्स आर थिंग्स दैट हैपन बट हार्ड टू बिलीव. यानी जो रियली हैपन होती है और इनके बारे में हम कम जानते हैं और जिनको देख के हम हैरान हो जाते हैं. द बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मिरेकल एसोसिएटेड विथ प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम's splitting of the moon. This is the best example. If you want to understand miracles, मुझे नहीं लगता इससे बेहतर एग्जाम्पल आपको कोई मिल सकती है एग्जाम्पल मिरेकल्स के बारे में. So this is the traditional definition. This is the literal definition of the word miracles. But यहाँ पे अगर हम इस poem की बात करेंगे, the poet Walt Whitman depicts a completely different view of miracles. He comes up with his own definition of miracles, and he in a way debunks the traditional concept of miracles. He says, what are you saying? Miracles are the things that happen unexpectedly or rarely? No. He draws his miracles from everyday ordinary life. According to him, every living creature is full of miracles. The city life too is full of miracles. Nature itself is an emblem of miracles. Even the creation of human life is in itself a miracle. His perspective, his notion towards miracles is totally different. He rejects the traditional, he rejects the archetypal definition of miracles, which stands as the unexpected and supernatural event, and comes up with his own innovation that Miracles are not the exceptional events, but everyday happenings that we ignore usually. Right? According to Walt Whitman, or to him, each and everything of the world that brings us joy and peace is a miracle. To him, every human being he meets with love is a miracle. Every object of nature he sees around him is a miracle. The creation and activities of honeybees, animals, fish, waves, rocks, the sun, and the moon are miracles. In fact, the nature itself is an emblem of miracles. So, this is the gist of the poem. So, in the next video, I'll be providing you the detailed analysis of the poem. I hope you have understood the poet and the sum and substance of the poem. So, in the next video, let's explain and explore the poem. Stay tuned in. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Allah Hafiz.